Hello, everyone. This is Fabian, the product manager for GitLab Geo, and I am going to give you a quick overview of the roadmap and what we are going to do for 12.4. So let me quickly share my screen so you can have a look at Geo. Okay, so the first thing is I spoke about what we're going to do in 12.3 a little while ago, and I just wanted to quickly recap and tell you where we are at right now. So the first thing to note is that for 12.3, we had quite a few ambitious goals, but some work that we started in 12.2 actually was more complex than we initially thought. And that is one of the reasons why we had to delay a few other items. So in this kickoff meeting, there are not too many completely new features that I'm going to discuss because we still are releasing some of the things that we intended to release in 12.2 and 12.3. And so we have to work through that. The two items that were a little bit more involved than initially thought were the improved object storage support. So allowing the replication of items in object storage natively. So this is very actively being worked on, and many merge requests are already filed. So we hope to finish this by 12.3, but I'll keep you posted. And the second one is, and this is the support for replicating Docker registries. So this is largely merged. We're really excited to release this, but those items were larger than we initially anticipated. And so some of the time in 12.3 was taken up by our engineers and the team to actually get this done, because we didn't want to release something that we don't think is going to add much value. So as a consequence of this, quite a few things that I'm going to discuss were already mentioned in the 12.3 kickoff call. I'll point those out, but there are also some other developments. Okay, so the first thing I would like to actually talk about is enabling Geo for disaster recovery on .com. And I already pointed out last time that this is important and an ongoing effort in collaboration with infrastructure. But I think this is sort of the main thing I would like to highlight as a slight shift in focus for the team as well. So we are accelerating our efforts inside Geo to actually allow us to enable this fully. There are still some roadblocks, but at the moment we are understanding what the things are that are left to be done so that we can actually enable this basically with priority. So the first big focus for 12.4 is in enabling disaster recovery. And there are many good reasons for doing it. One of them is dog fooding, as in we want to use Geo as part of our own product and as part for GitLab.com. And so I think this is something that that is really, really important to us, and we will double down on that. So this is the first item, but we are still a little bit in, we have a couple of items that are being blocked that are quite technical regarding rig tasks, but we are also working on breaking this down a little bit further. So the next time when I speak to you, we have a better detailed understanding of this. So the second thing is, and these are high-level items, I'll talk about the theme again to remind you. So there is an ongoing effort to verify all the data that we actually have in Geo, and this is actually quite involved. So we had a few discussions inside the team on how we can break this down a little bit further. And in 12.3, we're already intending to do a little bit of work on that, but going forward to 12.4, we are also going to focus on upload verification. So this is actually something that will serve as a template for other things, and I can go into this a little bit more in detail. So upload verification here, we broke this down very, very neatly so that we can actually make sure that we deliver incremental value. And so for 12.4, we are intending to do quite a bit of work here to track the primary checksum counts and move this into a good direction. Then, and this is something that we already talked about in the 12.3 release, the automatically choosing the Geo node for the best user experience. So the one item that was scheduled for 12.3 initially, but that we are now doing for 12.4 is to actually, excuse me, to document how to use a single Git URL for the closest GitLab, the closest Geo node. I think this is something that we will be able to deliver in 12.4. So we had to postpone this a little bit because of other work, but we're still intending to do that. And also we are in the process of gathering more information from our users and understanding how they use Geo. So this is something that that we actually need to do. But this is, again, that was postponed. So that's going to happen. Then I'd like to talk a little bit about simplifying the Geo upgrade process. And this is actually a very interesting endeavor. The last time we spoke, I said that we are trying to understand this and do some incremental updates. And we've spent quite a bit of time understanding the current documentation and the steps and how we can make this more robust and simpler. And that is a lot of like prerequisite work that we needed to do in order to actually make some changes. And so for 12.4, this is something that we initially thought we could get done in 12.3, but because of a lot of the sort of deeply understanding what we need to do and why we do the things in a specific way, this is taking a little bit longer. And so this is also something that is happening in 12.4. Also because changing the way we perform upgrades has a lot of ramifications and implications for you. So we want to make sure that the changes that we actually propose here are robust and that we really understand that this will work out. So this is work that is happening here. And then finally, as an effort to actually add more data sources to Geo. So this is something that is currently definitely a limitation. I can quickly show you in the documentation. So the unreplicated data types. So there are quite a few data types that currently are actually not replicated using Geo. And so the next item that we're actually going to enable here are design repositories as part of the design management. And this is a recent feature that is still in an early stage, but we would like to demonstrate that we can actually support this in Geo as well. So that was also scheduled for 12.3, but now we moved it into 12.4, and we hope that by the end for the release we have full support in Geo for those design repositories. A few other activities that we wanted to start a little bit earlier, doing some more research on how we can improve the installation, and also starting to think about promotion, demotion, and failover are pushed a little bit back because we have to finish what we started in 12.3 and now in 12.4. But this is definitely still an area that we are very interested in, and we're probably going to be able to start thinking about this a little bit more actively after 12.4. And that's all that I wanted to talk to you about. So the main features for the release, and you'll see this in the kickoff document, are the support for the design repositories, more active work here on the upload verification, the single Git URL for all of Geo, which would make it a lot easier to use. Excuse me. And we also are going to look at a rake task for automating some parts of the Geo upgrade process. And yeah, other than that, we hope to finish the 12.3 scheduled tasks really soon, the 12.2 scheduled task really soon. both including the object storage replication and the Docker registry replication. So that's all from me. Thank you very much and see you next time.